Okay, we are live. As everybody knows, I'm Johnny Walker Dread. I host the Johnny Walker Dread Show. We got a couple of special guests who've been on my show a few times in the past. But we have Wendy and Faith Rittenhouse, and they're not nearly as famous as their family member, Kyle Rittenhouse, who everybody knows. But the reason why I wanted to bring them on was we've had a lot of scary things going on lately, and involving family members and things like that. I thought they might produce a pretty interesting, let's say, perspective on things. They've been through it themselves. So, at any rate, the Johnny Walker Dread Show, there's a number of issues that I typically cover. Of course, Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't know if you guys know it, but I have over 500 videos on your family member there. So, yeah, 500. And I have 100 on just the dumb argument series. So that's how bad things got. And I think with this latest Karmelo Anthony deal, I think it's going to surpass Kyle's record in terms of dumb arguments. The other thing I'm known for is hounding the hell out of Rashad Ritchie, who I detest. He's a total fraud. He's an academic fraud. And people are saying, oh, I can't believe he's saying that. Rashad Ritchie is going to sue him. Yeah, he's threatened to sue me 4 times now, and I've been daring him to do it, and he ain't going to. So don't worry about it. But, yeah, when it comes to Rashad Ritchie's fake academic degrees and all that, I'm the man. I'm the one that you need to go and watch, because it will blow your mind about the phoniness that goes on with that dude. And, of course, Rashad Ritchie is one of the hosts of the Young Turks. And then lately it's been Karmelo Anthony and Nolan Wells that have been occupying my time. I have around 50 videos on Karmelo Anthony. And Nolan Wells, I just punched out my first one, and there's going to be a whole bunch more, because that one is really going to hell quickly. And I just cannot understand what's going on here. And my guests here today are going to be offering some of their insights into what it must be like to kind of go through these kind of ordeals. So let me go ahead and start off here. Wendy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us whatever you want to tell us. I mean,
well, Wendy Rittenhouse. Everybody should know me for being Kyle Rittenhouse's mom. This is Faith, his older sister.
and
And this is Maggie.
Oh, okay, Maggie. Oh, was that a pit bull?
Yeah, this is my baby.
Oh, I see. I got it. I got it.
She's a rescue. Well, she rescued me. I found her a couple years ago when she was a puppy outside, and found the owners, and basically they didn't want her back, wanted her, and I kept her. She's a big baby. She doesn't like.
Maggie a good girl? Is that right?
Yeah, she's a good girl. Sometimes, faces sometimes, but she's a good girl. She loves playing with the cats. And Otis, Faith's dog, doesn't like the cats. But she hogs the bed.
Okay, and well, I'm going to give you another opportunity. I've done it in the past to straighten out the record about you driving Kyle to the protest. Is that what I heard? Go ahead, Wendy.
Oh yeah. I still see it. I still see it and everything, and it cracks me up. And Kyle did stated in the trial that I didn't drive him, but people don't listen, and people assume that I drove him.
It's insane. Like they picture you driving with Kyle in the seat next to you with this little rifle, right? And you're driving. Yeah. Okay, Kyle, now you go and shoot me some of them protesters. Okay, Mom. Yeah. They think that's what happened.
Lunch. Even like, you can go, Kyle, go drop them off. People are still hung up on that. And it's like it's going on almost 6 years now.
Do people? Do they actually talk to you, mention this to you personally at all? I mean, you ever encounter people anymore that say, you're the one that drove Kyle to the protest?
When I worked at the airport,
that was like years
ago. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, when I worked at the airport, I had a manager would talk mad crap about Kyle and me, stating that we're racist, and had all these videos and stuff like that. No one didn't tell me until one day one of my coworkers told me, and it's like, she's like, I want to tell you that such and such is talking about your son and everything like this. And he goes, I did not believe that. And he's like, I was the only white girl in on the assignment that was worked for there. And it's like, no, we don't believe that. They had my back, and it was just one thing and another at the airport, and I left that place.
Are you still there?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
I went to, let me see, another place. I worked in a nursing home as a sitter, one-on-one care for people that need to be watched, and they let me go last year. For because they said I was full time, but they turned around.
Last year, it was a few months ago.
No, that was a different one. It was last year.
Oh yeah.
And they let go like 10 other girls because they said that we were on call, and it's like I had to find another job. Then I found another job at an assisted living place. I worked there for like over a year, and they didn't give me a reason why they let me go. I wanted to say that the hiring manager found out who I was, and he was he was a leftist, Democrat, and I was like, I asked for a reason. They didn't give me a reason. I was out of work for like a month until I got a job working at a hotel as a housekeeper. And I was not getting the hours, like 40 hours, because they're like, there's no overtime here. You need to work like a robot to get done. It's like I was getting like 5 hours a day. And I was still actively looking for a new job too when I was at the hotel. And I did find a new job. I had to do like these modules and stuff like that. And I got finished with it because it was like 24 hours. They say, oh, you get paid 24 hours for it. It'll take like 3 days. I got it done 2.5 days. And I'm just waiting for a schedule for that so I can make more money.
I see. So can you your current employment situation is what?
I'm just waiting for my new schedule for a new employment because I got in and stuff like that. I was cleaning rooms.
Mm-hmm. So at least it looks somewhat hopeful.
Yes, this is something I was doing for 15 years when the kids were younger. Yeah. When we lived in Illinois, and here in Florida, Florida is such a hard state to transfer your CNA license and everything because a couple years ago they had people buying licenses for like yes,
that was a big scandal.
So big scandal on it, and it's so hard, and I wasn't on top of it, like getting it done, and being with the stuff with Kyle. I had to stop work on that to focus for his freedom, and it wasn't safe for me to work at the time when he was going through that and into hiding and stuff like that. And it's like if you don't use your CNA license within 2 years, it relapse, and then, it's just one thing at another. I wasn't on top of it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it shows you what the harm these people do when they commit these frauds, right? I mean, they hurt a lot of people. I mean, and it's impacted you. By the way, we have a question here. Have you considered changing your name back to Wendy Lewis to kind of avoid some of the fallout?
when with everything that happened, everything, I deactivated my Facebook when this happened. And it was not Rittenhouse. It was with my maiden name. It's still, when you type Google Wendy Lewis, first thing that pops up is Kyle.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's been almost 6 years. People still live rent free in Kyle's head. You got some people still like, oh my God, your son's a racist and he's a KKK person, and just nonsense. It's like, in the beginning, I was worried and stuff like that. If when I do go back to work, and I did have a problem with that, and I will always probably have issues with it for being Kyle's mom and everything like that, because they don't see me, they see Kyle, and a lot of people have an issue with it because these are probably the ones that didn't watch the trial or see what's going on and what the media has portrayed my son and my family, because we had to deal with a lot. And I do see on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, when I am on it, people still, oh, he's a racist. He's this, he's that, and everything like that. She's a murderer. They never watched a trial. I mean, they don't get the facts straight.
I mean, I still see it. I mean, and you must, every time something horrible happens out there, you must think, oh no, my kid's name is going to get dragged up again, and of course, I'm going to be dragged right into it, right? I mean, every time there's a racially motivated, or just anything where race could play a role, Kyle's name is going to be brought up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even though he never shot he only shot white people that night.
They still said that he shot black people.
Oh yeah, I still see it.
I'm like, they didn't watch the trial. I saw something like Kyle was talking on some talking on some broadcast or doing an interview, and it's like he goes, did anybody did you change anybody's mind? He's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, they didn't know anything about me. They didn't watch the trial. And he was like, he's like, hey, this is what happened, everything. And they actually said, oh, I changed my mind. And it's like, I did not know that, because the media portrayed that he was this right wing MAGA, like AK-47s, all these guns, AR-15s, and it's like he was.
By the way, Wendy, I'm getting kind of a crunching sound, like your dog is.
Yeah, the dogs are playing.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was
the dogs are playing. Yeah, they are playing. They got their little ropes and stuff like that. They do like to play. And they do play.
I see that you kind of pushed old Faith out of the way there. We don't even see her anymore.
Popped up for a sec.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, see her head.
Sorry, I have no sleep in my system, so I'm very sluggish today. I'm just getting over the flu, so it's been rough.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you catch us up to speed on how you're doing, Faith? What's happening in your life? What's that?
I'm pretty good. Just I've been working. I'm a teacher at a church, so I've been doing that for like a while.
Oh, so you're teaching at church?
Yeah, like I'm teaching at a church.
I never knew that you were a churchgoer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a surprise. I mean, well, we've never talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
And by the way,
I love my job. It's really fun.
Okay. Are you getting enough hours of work now, or are you looking for more?
I get enough hours because I have like a full-time, like I get a full 40 no matter what. It's just I need to get another job because the pay is not that well. To answer that question, he's making enough income. It's just that he has like his own things that he's dealing with, like with the lawsuits and stuff, that like counters like being able to help.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, I know that you kind of separated for a long time, and he kind of went off into the wilderness. But my understanding of it is that he's kind of been communicating with a lot more with you lately. Do you want to tell us how that's going?
There's not like, we have each other on Snapchat, and like we'll talk here and there, but it's like the relationship is still like a little rocky. Like there's still that like missing, like I think like
there's something missing.
Like I think that the trust that like our like sibling bond had fallen apart, and like it's hard to like build that back. Like as me and my sister, we talk every day, and like me and her are fine.
Oh yeah. Well, I know you and Mackenzie have always been pretty close, and she's moved out and she's got her own place now, I guess. Moving on. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. As far as the book goes, we've had a lot of talk about on that, and I'll tell everybody the story. Kyle does not like this story, but and he's probably feeling that. Well, Johnny Walker Dredd, he's kind of betrayed my trust, but my feeling about it is that book did as well. So sorry, Kyle, but if you disclose confidential family stuff in your book, don't get mad at Johnny Walker Dredd for disclosing private communication. Okay, I'm sorry. But he sent me this book because he didn't understand why everybody was getting on him about it. And I said, Kyle, you're talking way too much private stuff that you shouldn't be talking about. And of course, I'm not going to talk about it here, but I got on him about it. And he got mad at me. And then when I had you on, it was a short time later on my show to talk about the book, he cut ties with me completely. Not that he ever came on my show anyway. Not that I'm bitter, but so. And I mean, and as far as the book sales goes, he never made much at all. I told him at the time that this book was not going to go anywhere, and it didn't, because ultimately it was poorly written. He didn't write it, obviously. I mean, it was ghost written. That's okay. I mean, almost all of your autobiographies are ghost written. Okay, and I get that, and I know who did it. Okay, but he had a newspaper writer write his book, and it showed it was written in the wrong style. Terrible, in my opinion. And the book never sold at all. I think I calculated it once that he was making like $100 a month or something like that, and that's nothing, right? So everybody was talking about it because everybody has this big misconception that, well, if I get a book out there and sell it, I'm going to be rich. It's really hard. I have a published book out there. I've had it for like 5 years. I make enough money to take out my wife to dinner every year. That's how much I make, because it's 10% of gross sales, and that's all you're going to do.
If the book is $10, you get $1.
That's right. And it was just never going to make much, and I kind of knew that. And unfortunately, when I read it, and I don't want to go too long deep into this, but when I read it, all the really good things I was looking forward to, like some of the emotional stuff that must have been wrenching him, he didn't even touch it. And instead, it was about this time when I went and I played hooky at school. I don't care. I mean, that doesn't make you a rebel. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, he put a lot of private stuff in there that was designed to, I think, raise interest, but bad idea. But okay, that's enough of that. Oh boy. Okay, so let me go ahead. We're going to watch an actual video here. Well, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about the latest deal. And I know that we've talked about this, Wendy, but I want to get everybody up to speed because not everybody is paying close attention out there.
Mhm.
But a young black kid named Nolan Wells, who by all accounts is a good dude, okay? Sharp, he stayed out of trouble, an overall good guy. He goes out on a boating excursion. Him and three other guys. Now he's black, the other three are white. And there's a picture of them on this boat. And they go out to this island out into the Gulf Coast. And the three white guys are the only ones that come back. The black kid disappears. Now, the black kid's name is Nolan Wells. Okay. And so, you know, Wendy, what's the thing they're going to say, right? Wait.
White person did it.
Yep. You've been through it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you've been through it. So, evidently, there's a big brouhaha about what happened because evidently they made it to the island, but the three boys are the only ones that came back. And the boys have lawyered up. They're not saying anything, which is smart.
Yeah.
But of course, that allows people to let their imaginations go wild. And you know what happens. You've been through it. What happens when people are just allowed to come up with anything they want to come up with?
You know, it's like they just look and they assume. You know, they just assume.
Yeah.
You have the media and you have politicians and you have the actors, actresses, sports people, you know, all throwing throwing stuff in that pot and everything. But they need to look at it. There's families involved. You know, you got the kid that's missing. You got his parents and siblings, like, want to know what's going on, what happened to their son, why did this happen? And you got the three kids, three other boys. You have them they lawyer up, so they did the Fifth Amendment rights, you know, and you have their families. You know, they're probably getting death threats. They're probably in hiding because of the death threats. You know, it's just evolving circle. You know, it's like, oh, they did this, they did that. You know, they don't have the proof of what really happened. You know, it's he said, she said, or he said, he said. You know, it's like, I get it very much, and it's just horrible because they assume the worst. You know, but you know, they always say it's their truth. There's like three sides. Their side, in the middle. Right in the middle needs to be like, okay, this is what happened.
Hey, Faith, you were able to stay out of the limelight more than your siblings and your mother, but you still caught it, didn't you?
Like a little bit, but not as bad. I think it was bad when like I did like the GoFundMe. That's when I got like a lot of people like noticing who I am and like what people have said.
Mm-hmm. That was the GoFundMe we had maybe about a year ago.
It was like 2.5 years ago.
Oh, was it that long ago? Okay.
It was a while ago when I made like $7,000. Well,
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, in case anybody knows, we had a fundraiser for you. Well, I didn't set up the GoFundMe, but you did, and you were looking for somebody to announce it to, and I said, well, let's do a live stream. We came on and we raised some money during the live stream, and then it was, who was it? Newsweek or somebody picked up on our live stream and ran a spread blaming Kyle for not helping out, and all of a sudden the money just poured in. And that was weird. That was really strange.
You know, and you know, it's the only time we hear anything from Newsweek or when I hear anything from like the media, is something Kyle's doing or something. Last time I heard from the media is when Kyle got married last year.
Oh, God.
Oh, really? Did they came knocking, huh?
No, I get an email on I have like my old email I had for like 25 years. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what is, and I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, Jesus. It's like, how do you feel and everything like that? I didn't comment, man. I'm like, I'm like, geez. And all of a sudden you see everything with Kyle and Bella blow up and everything on the internet because they're like, oh my God, he got married. Oh my God, his wife and everything, this and that, And it's like, yeah, he got married. I'm happy. I'm happy that my son found love. I mean, she brings the best out of him. It's like beforehand he wouldn't even talk to me. And with Bella, I didn't meet her yet. I would love to meet my daughter-in-law. And
You've never met her?
No. I talked to her like not on the phone, like I said, Instagram or Snapchat and stuff like that. Give her stories about Kyle, like what a mom's supposed to do, Yeah, and she's a delightful young lady, and she brings the best out of Kyle. I can tell that as a mom.
Mm-hmm. That helps you mature, certainly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is these boys. Now remember, there are 3 white boys, and they have stayed out of the limelight. People didn't know who they were, and because they immediately shut down their social media, and they lawyered up. And these kids come from fairly well-to-do backgrounds. I have a feeling one's mother is a judge, so they're going to get good advice in that. Oh, you're in the spotlight here, lawyer. Right, immediately you're contacting a lawyer, and that lawyer is going to say you're not saying anything to anybody, right?
Yeah.
But that's okay because people found out who they were. Now let's watch this. This is one of the sickest things I've seen. And by the way, I would eliminate the names on this, and when I actually go to republish this video that we're doing now, I'm going to blur out the names. I don't have enough time to do it here before our show tonight, so but I only have a very few people watching. Most of the people are going to be tuning into the recorded one, so I'll get a chance. But and by the way, this has got 25,000 views anyway, so my number of views ain't going to have any effect on the security of these poor guys. But let's watch this.
I've been seeing Nolan Wells' face all over social media and in the news, and I think that's great. However, because these gentlemen deleted all their social media accounts before Nolan Wells' body was even found, we haven't really been able to see them in the media. These are the 5 men who are alleged to have been with Nolan on that island.
Keep in mind, there's only been 3 that were in the picture. So 2 of these guys are waiting. They're like, wait, what? Why am I in this?
These are their names. These are their faces, and we should know them and see who they are. So
why? Why do we need to know who they are? Right? Now, when Kyle, going back, when Kyle got in the first night, they put your address on one of the news stations. I remember that. I have not been able to find it because I'm sure that they deleted it shortly after. But I remember watching, thinking like, wait, this kid's 17 years old, and they just put his address. They even had a picture. They even showed the outside of your building.
Yeah. They had our address up, my cell number. My mom that lived in Michigan, they leaked. They were calling my mom. She didn't have no. She didn't know what was going on.
That must have been freaky.
My sister, she has my sister, she's special, and she was freaking out. She had to call our sister-in-law, and my 2 nieces came over, and they were answering the phone, and people were calling from like across the pond, like over in London and stuff, saying, oh, it's like, oh, this Miss Lewis, and it's like my niece, my brother's daughter, yeah, she's a Lewis, and it's like this, yeah, And she just ripped right in my niece. It's like, your son is a effing racist. And I was like, and she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell? You just like, you're calling my 75-year-old grandma's house. And it's like, my niece, she don't have no filter. And she just laid into her and she hung up. And it's like, my mom had changed the phone. I mean, they called the police, the local sheriff, county. I mean, where I used to live up in Michigan, we didn't have a police department just around the corner. I mean, it's literally you blink, you miss, and they had a patrol car come out, took the statement and everything like that, and tell them like if anything happens, blah blah blah, we'll be out there. Small town, you blink, you got. They were like, okay, and they were like, my family was freaking out, especially my mom and my sister, and my brother lived next door, and he was up, and my brother and my nephew was up on watch, making sure, no one didn't come on the property or break into my mom's house and stuff like that, because there was no case. They had their address leaked, their phone number and everything. And people don't realize what you're doing is like you're harassing the family. You're harassing the family. You're making everything like, oh, you're related, you're racist, or oh, you're hiding them and everything like that. They assume and everything. It's like, okay, where's the proof? They just need to leave the family alone, because they have to deal with a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, because you can't walk out the door without, hey, your son, with 2020, thank God for the mask, because I would never walked out the door. I had a mask, a hat on. I looked like the Unabomber. Because I was worried that somebody was going to go attack me or something like that because of what happened with Kyle.
Oh boy! I mean, how long were you able to stay living where you were before you finally had to just get out of there?
With Antioch, when that happened that night, that was the last time I was there.
Well, we had to get out immediately. I mean, that night.
Yeah, I had to get out of Dodge. We had to get out of Dodge and stuff. Kyle was in. They arrested Kyle. God. He had to go to Vernon Hills for to the juveniles place, and me and the girls and stuff. Faith went with her. I mean, her dad's side of the family, grandma, for like a couple days. Me and Mackenzie went to Dominic's with Katrina, and it was like I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, I did not know what was up and down was, because I was trying to get a lawyer for him.
Right. I knew you'd gone to Katrina's, but I didn't know it was that soon. I mean, you had to get out that night. It was that fierce.
Yeah. Then that morning, because it happened like on August 25th around 11:45, 11:30, 11:45. Those, and after that was the 26th. Me and Kyle, people say I wanted to take Kyle and run. I'm like, I was scared. I was scared. I was like, oh my God, and everybody's saying, oh, you wanted to run with him and everything. I said, I don't remember that. I still don't. And Kyle was arrested. And Mackenzie gave me a phone, because my phone was acting up, because it was iPhone. It needed to be upgraded. And it was like a 6 or a 7. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. And Mackenzie's like calling me, and it's like, hey, you need to come with me and everything. I went to Katrina's and stuff like that. I said, I was just driving around circles. I followed the police car for like 10 miles. I mean, and I'm like this, just I was like just following it, and they're like, Mackenzie called me. What are you doing? I was like, I'm following the cop car, making sure he's okay. And Mackenzie's like, you can't do that. I said, I'm just a couple car links behind it. No one's not gonna know.
You can follow a cop car around all you want. I mean, there's nothing they can do about that. I mean, they might raise some concern about whether that person following them has got some ideas in mind, but
I didn't go back. We didn't go back until like in August, September, like end of September, October. We had to get our stuff out. I was there.
I was going to say you had to go back here and get your stuff.
Yeah, we had to get our stuff. We had people that came in to help us to move it and everything like that. We threw away all the beds and furniture and stuff. We just took our belongings, and that was it. I was in my Equinox, like in the back seat, hiding so people didn't realize that I was there. That was the only time I was there, but I never stepped in the apartment and everything like that. There was Katrina, my friend Dana, a couple other guys. I don't remember. I forgot their names, and my ex-husband.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, and it's something that I think the average person's out there thinking, well, if it happened to me, they know better mess with it, but it's scary.
It is.
When you're sleeping at night.
Exactly. It's like there were. The messages I got on Facebook about they're like, because I know where you live. It's like 286 Anita Terrace, blah blah blah. It was like, we're gonna come in and make your place look like Beirut. I'm like bomb my house and stuff like that. And there some nasty messages, and it's like, and people are like, they were really downright nasty. It's like, I look at them, I look at a couple, I just delete, and I just deactivate it and stuff like that. And people are like friend requesting me. I'm like over 1,000 friend requests. I'm like, it's really? I'm like, you don't even know who I am. Now you want to be my friend on my Facebook friend. I'm like, go. I'm like, whatever, you dudes. And I'm like, no. I just like, with the social media out there, it's like, I hate it. I really hate it from that, because they assume, these people, that people, and everything, and they ruin people. They just ruin everything, and they assume. I get both sides. I do. I honestly do, and they just need to not pay attention to social media. Social media, focus on their families. You have friends. You focus on make sure your friend circle is small. Before that, I had friends and stuff like that, and it's like, I don't talk. I think I talked maybe one or two of my friends back in 2020, 2 or 3 of them, and the rest, nothing. I get it.
So you can imagine what these kids here are going through now. Yeah, let's go ahead and play the rest of this. Let's see what he's got to say.
So Eli, Eric, Warren, Wyatt, Morgan. We should see their faces. We should know their names too. This case has really reminded me, man. I remember I was coming up and I thought my mom was just so prejudiced, about stuff. She would tell me different things and talk to me about dealing with police and, the things that I would have to worry about. And I would push back against what she would tell me. And all she would say is, just keep living. Just keep living. And as an adult, I understand. I understand what she meant by keep living.
Keep in mind that this didn't happen to him. I think what she was talking about was you're going to experience things against you personally. He was not involved in this at all. And in fact, we don't know what happened. My feeling about it was we do know that when they went to the island, this dude met up with a girl. I don't know if there was anything going with between them, but they knew each other. And he wanted to stay, according to the mother of one of these boys, that he wanted to stay on the island. These boys wanted to come back because they had trouble with the boat. So they came back, but his cell phone was on the boat. So not Karmelo, sorry. Oh my God. Nolan stayed on the island without his cell phone, and they came back. They didn't know that he had gone missing. And then about 2 days later, they found his body floating in the ocean. But they basically had washed up on shore. They haven't done the autopsies yet. My gut feeling is he got drunk and got pulled in by a riptide. And it can happen to you. If you're drunk, trying to save yourself from drowning becomes really difficult.
What state did this happen in?
What was that?
What state did this happen in?
Mississippi. That's another problem. That's another problem. Well, this is Mississippi. Well, we all know what happens in Mississippi. There's this assumption. They make every assumption on the books about what happened. And as you can see here, these are Nolan's White murders. They don't even spell murderer correctly, right? What can you expect? My advice to you, Kevin Blue, whoever you are, one of these boys' mothers is a judge. She's got a bar license. So you might be getting a summons here pretty soon. And this is absolutely actionable. There's no ambiguity here. He's calling them murderers and posting on social media. He has no protection. She can own everything he has and everything he ever will have. And that's just so stupid. But then again, Kevin Blue doesn't come across as somebody who's particularly smart. Let's see where we go a little bit further here.
Yeah.
How do you leave without your friend? And even if you left without your friend, how do you have his phone? And not only you have his phone, but you didn't turn it over to his parents. You kept it. And if it wasn't for Life 360, they wouldn't have found his phone. It just reminds me, I remember.
Well, they didn't know he was missing at that time. So they probably kept the phone figuring, well, when he gets back, we'll see him and we'll get him his phone back. I mean, there are plausible explanations, right?
You're on an island. What's around the island? Water. Where's it dry at? In a boat. I'm going to put my phone there. Common sense. Yeah. Or even if they're camping. Anybody who went camping before, you understand that. You put your food by your campfire, your phone. If you're about to leave, you put everything in there. You put your phone, It goes both ways. We can assume, but we weren't there.
Well, keep in mind, I think he probably was wanting to go swimming. Well, it's saltwater. You're not going to swim with your phone, and there's no coverage out there anyway. So a phone wouldn't do you good. So leaving it on the boat seems like a very plausible thing that a person would do. And while you wouldn't think that a kid would forget that his phone was on the boat and therefore forgets to retrieve it before his friends take off, but that can happen. Especially if you got a girl in mind, right? Like they tend to make you forget about things.
How old is this? How old was Nolan?
He's 18.
Okay, 18. Okay, for an 18-year-old kid, what's the first thing on your mind when you see a girl? You want to like talk to her.
Hey, what's that?
Yeah, you want to talk. That's it. Hi, But they don't. We can't assume. Everybody's assuming this and that. There's the word evidence. Evidence.
Yeah. Let me see what we got here. The race hustlers have been digging up even more accidental drowning cases, blaming everyone else. Just because you're a student athlete doesn't mean you can swim like a fish. That's true. Yep. Evidently, the parents did say he knew how to swim, and all of a sudden now everybody is saying he was an excellent swimmer. That's how the thing gets propagated. I don't know if he was an excellent swimmer or not, but if you get pulled by riptide, you're gone.
It doesn't matter.
You're not surviving.
Does not matter.
Especially if you're drunk.
Yeah. or if you're drunk and all together, booze and being drunk and water does not mix.
No. Even if the investigation comes back, it was an accident, they will never believe it. You're right. Absolutely right. I mean, look at the Trey Reed case where they did an autopsy. This is a young black kid in Mississippi who hung himself. Let's face it, he hung himself. And of course, the big deal is, well, black kids never hang themselves for some weird reason. And like they did an autopsy. Guess what? He hung himself. So Colin Kaepernick paid for a private autopsy. And it's been like 8 months now and almost a year now. We haven't heard anything about it. So guess what? That second autopsy also came back as accidental. So they will never in a million years admit they're wrong.
No, never.
Okay, so the most ridiculous thing I heard was Nolan would not have left his friends to be with the girl he just met. When I was that age, I would have left my parents to go. Of course.
Of course, exactly.
Do any of these people have hormones?
Probably not.
It's
probably not.
But no. I think that one of the
just
problems
have to wait for the autopsy report come back, evidence. They did lawyer up. The word evidence. They have. Just have to wait. I'm like I said, I don't know anything about this. This tragedy. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, when I see something, it's like, oh, only thing I see is the Charlie Kirk's trial. The Puerto Rico. That's the only thing.
You've been watching that?
Yeah, I've been watching that one.
Okay, let's play a little bit more
when
here.
The Kendrick Johnson thing was happening, they found that boy rolled up in a mat at school. Whether it's Jelani Day, really, Tamla Horsford, I think is her name. Like, back to Emmett Till. Like, it's a repeat.
I don't mean to laugh. Emmett Till was 70 years ago, guys. What? Seriously, 70 years ago. That was Emmett Till, and they're still bringing him up as if like it was done yesterday. Those were different days. Those were different times.
Yeah, different times.
It happens way too much. They had to send this boy's body to Washington, D.C. to have an autopsy done. One of the boys' mom, stepmom.
By the way, they did send the body back to Washington, D.C., but they didn't have to. Ben Crump sent it back there because that's probably his friend who's doing the autopsy, right? They couldn't find a medical examiner closer to Mississippi than Washington, D.C., really? No,
well, Mississippi has a lot of small places and everything. Like if you blink, you miss.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I think we're almost done with this one.
Is a judge. She already released a statement. And what's really alarming is that I'm seeing more and more content that wants to point the finger in other directions. No.
Oh no, we can't have that. I can't believe that these people are wanting to come up with an alternative explanation to having the white kids blamed for it. How dare they? And that's what he's saying. Like, I have a video out where I say, look, here's what I think may have happened. I think that he went to the island, he met a girl, and wanted to stay. We don't know what happened at that point. Maybe it was foul play, or maybe he drowned. But whatever the case, those boys came back earlier. They had nothing to do with it. And my take on it is considered evil because I'm taking the focus away from what they really want. They want these kids blamed, and they don't care if they're innocent or guilty. Yeah. They want them blamed, and I'm a bad person for coming up with some other explanation for what happened.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Let's figure out what's going on with his friends first. And also, allegedly, they were at lunch and they said, well, y'all already decided that we did it. What do you mean? Your friend is missing. Why aren't you helping his parents search for him? Why aren't you going through his phone and his deleted text messages? Like, I'm not surprised. It's just so hurtful how disposable we are to them.
Yeah, but you're treating these white kids as disposable. I mean, right? Like they may not have had anything to do with it. There were only 3 white kids on the boat, and there's 2 other kids there, and they put him in the pictures. Like, I mean, come on. Look, I mean, why not just find out what happened and let the chips fall where they may? Maybe these kids were involved, in which case, throw the book at them. You know what? I'm all for it. But why not wait, let the police do their work, and let's see what the evidence shows. And you know, Wendy, what happens when you become impatient and you want the answers right away, and the police are not providing them, right? Because
yeah. You know, with that, okay, when it happened with the shooting and stuff like that, the FBI was involved for like 1 or 2 days. They see if it was a racial shooting and stuff like that. They talked to people and stuff like that. The FBI is like, this is not racial. It's not motivated. They're like this. There's nothing. You know, they threw it back to Kenosha, and it was like, okay, Kenosha did that. There was like they still had bullet casings on the ground, and the skateboard was never. I mean, girlfriend had it. They never found the.
That's right, Hannah. Hannah had it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
A lot of the evidence and stuff like that, it was video. You know, it was like video that saved Kyle. You know, like the people broadcasting and everything like that. The small time broadcasters and stuff like that. They had Kyle on video practically the whole time. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, the guy who synced all that up was a guy named Orkanut. Does the name mean anything to you?
No.
Okay, so Orkanut was the one that took all of those videos and synced them up time-wise so that they would travel through. I came across that video and I had a conversation with Orkanut, and I told him, you need to share this with the defense. They need this. And he said, well, I don't know how to do that. So I got the defense's email, got it to him, and the next thing I know, they're showing it in court. So who knows? But Orkanut was the guy who went through all that trouble. And unfortunately, he did one thing at the end. He put something like, is this Joshua Zeminski? Wrote it up in there, put an arrow, and that got everybody thinking that Kyle was pointing his rifle at Joshua at the end. I really wished he hadn't done that because... Yeah.
Zeminski? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still in prison.
Yeah, he is. I just checked about a few days ago. There's both of them are still in prison. Joshua and trying to remember her name, but yeah, they went in because they kidnapped. Yeah.
Well, I got a word for you.
Well, unfortunately, Kevin sent me a film they were both in, and it was a porn movie. And I was like, Kevin, don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore.
I just say,
I was like, take an ice pick.
you something you cannot unseen. You're gonna have nightmares.
No, I could not unsee it.
The rest of your life, and just sitting there going, "Oh God, no."
And by the way, for those who don't know,
for a long period.
Joshua Zeminski and his wife Kelly.
Oh, there it is.
Kelly. They were the ones that probably instigated the whole thing. And Joshua and Kelly have never gotten enough blame for what happened that night. Mm-hmm. Did you ever hear Joshua and Kelly's interrogation with the police?
Oh, I saw one when the cop was interviewing him about a child. I mean, he had a kid by a different baby mama, and they were going back and forth, and all of a sudden Kyle's name comes up, and I'm like, looking at it. I'm like, how is this related? I mean, how is this relevant? About what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, I was in the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and he pointed a gun at me. I'm like, you effing moron. I'm like, God, if he had a brain, he'd be dangerous.
He did an interview with the cops over the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, your son, and it was pretty much one lie after another. It was so many lies that both sides like, we can't use this guy. And Kelly was just as bad. And by the way, just to let you know, he got nailed for kidnapping and robbery. He basically kidnapped.
Yeah, I saw
they
that.
both kidnapped a person and forced that person to withdraw money from an ATM. And so, they're still in prison for that.
They need to use that. Say, kids, this is what happened when you do meth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're vicious drug addicts. These are the people, by the way, that Kyle faced that night.
Yep.
Get a clue. We were protesters.
They were just wanted to start trouble. Yeah. Those two wanted to start trouble, and they were not out for peace and justice. Yeah. Now it's like, okay, let's see what we can get into.
Yeah.
Nolan Wells deserves so much more. I hope his family gets justice. I hope that the truth is revealed. I hope they can do a forensic search on their phones and figure out what they were deleting in there. And it just makes me sad, man.
I hope the truth gets revealed as long as the truth aligns to what I want. And if that's the case, I don't want to hear the truth. That's basically what they're saying. And by the way, the whole deleted stuff, I would like to know how, when you get a hold of your friend's cell phone, how you get into it and start deleting stuff.
Yeah,
because the last time I looked, most kids lock their screens because because they don't want their friends they don't want their parents getting into their phones.
Yeah, there's Face ID, the fingerprint, the the passcode and stuff like that. That's a good question. How did the kids delete this thing? It's like, oh, he gave it to me. I doubt it. No kid's not going to give, especially the 18-year-old, their password.
From the pictures, it looks like those boys were good friends. It's sad that people want to create. Yeah, I agree. When I saw it, my first inclination was, no, these kids are good friends. They wouldn't have killed him. Now, they could have accidentally killed him in some boating accident or something, and then panicked and hid it. I mean, I would be willing to understand that, but they didn't murder him. But that's what we're facing.
The autopsy, when it comes out and everything, it'll say, hey, if there was alcohol involved or if he drowned, you don't know until that comes out. And when they if they talk to them, but they have lawyers.
Yeah. And the kids have lawyered up. Unfortunately, there may be a backlash on that. That may have actually hurt, but that's certainly the smart thing to do. But sometimes the smart thing still can blow up in your face, right?
Yeah.
But especially since they found out who they were. Okay, guess what? We're going to now play. Wait a minute, what happened? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I wanted you to watch this. This is old. This is a year old.
Yeah.
I wanted you to watch it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of this, and
and they mention your son.
Yeah.
Never in a good way, of course.
No. Nope.
Well, but what I'm interested in is you had spokespeople for you.
Yeah.
And you had that kind of blow up in your face to some extent. And I'd like to get your impression of this. Let's go ahead and play it. And most of my crew already know it, but watching Dominic Alexander fuddle around is always entertaining, so why not?
To say something as a DD.
Oh, I should.
That's the guy in the red tie, because I don't know him from Adam.
That's Dominic Alexander. Now, I should mention, Karmelo Anthony's parents are the two people behind him.
Yeah, I get that one, but I did not know the one in the red tie.
Yeah. Now, Dominic Alexander has a very dark history. I call him Baby Shaker because he almost killed a baby by shaking it.
Sorry about the
dogs. What's the matter?
The dogs. Anybody who walks by,
Okay, we'll hold tight for a second here. Let's go ahead and play this. Why don't you go ahead and mute your microphone for the time being, and then we'll watch this.
Note. A deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words. Don't quote anybody.
Well, first of all, you're up there as a spokesperson for the family. These are not your words. Learn your role.
Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Oh, I got to mention it to you. The father of the victim, the kid that Karmelo stabbed, showed up at their press conference. He didn't do anything. He was just there, ostensibly because he wanted to have a meeting with the parents to have, a come to G, not come to G, that's the wrong, a nice meeting with the parents where they could, bond, I guess, because both the parents are undergoing a lot of stress. Dominic found out that Jeff Metcalf had showed up, and now he's going to attack the father of the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them.
But he's about to. Spoiler alert, he's about to.
When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay?
Yeah, we're not here to attack the victim's family. No, not us. Oh, heavens. Keep in mind, Jeff just showed up and was just standing there because he wanted to meet the family. And that's what set this guy off.
What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominic Alexander. I serve as the president of.
So yeah, you get the idea. Now keep in mind, who introduced race into the system? He did. Jeff Metcalf, the victim's father, said, "This is not racial at all. I don't want race even brought up." And yet, here he is.
Always.
Oh my gosh. Now, there is a part in here. But let's just go ahead. I'm going to speed it up if you don't mind here. I'm going to. Because he tends to talk slow.
the Next Generation Action Network. Today, I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector.
As a Black man, like, dude, why does your race matter in this? You're just the spokesman for the other people, but all of a sudden it's about him and his race. Shameless. Let me know if you have any comments. Well, I'm just going to roll on. If not,
Yeah, I'm just shaking my head.
Community and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family.
okay, so I'm going to skip this part, but they accused the family of squandering all the GiveSendGo money.
Mhm.
Okay, you had your own problems raising money for
Yeah.
Kyle. Do you want to talk about that?
Okay. Okay, they have their thing. They made what, 600K?
Something I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay. When the incident happened, people were doing the GiveSendGo or GoFundMe. They shut it down quick. It was so hard for me to raise money for Kyle because every time someone would put something up, it got shut down. There was a picture of me, didn't state what happened or anything that happened with Kenosha. That got shut down. And with GoFundMe, they were like, "Oh, we do not," because it was like, "Oh, because it happened to Black Lives Matter thing." Oh, because they were stated like, "Oh, he was found guilty," or he was like, "Oh, he's already guilty. We're not going to pledge him." When Kyle got acquitted, then we get a letter stating, "Oh, if you want to raise money and stuff like that, blah blah, you're welcome to."
Oh my gosh.
23 times that we got deplatformed.
23 times.
23 times.
I thought it was like a dozen, but no, it was.
Yeah, 23. 23, 24, 23. All I can remember is 23. Every time we try to raise money, it get deplatformed. GiveSendGo was the only one, like, hey, blah, 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 because he didn't go to court. He didn't have his trial yet. He wasn't, you're proven innocent before proven guilty, It's like they went by that, and Kyle was found innocent, And it's like, okay, then, the trial, we all lived it, And
yeah,
they made more money than anything. Beforehand, it was hard for me to raise money for Kyle, for lawyers and stuff like that. I did not care if I had to pitch a tent in the woods for my son legal fence to. I didn't care. I would put a tent up and call it a day, And when I see that they bought a house, bought a brand new car, I was like,
okay, that's not been confirmed. That is a strong story. It's been going around, but I haven't been able to verify that.
Well, you know what? If she's so getting all upset about it, do an audit and say, this is what I paid. This is what the lawyers, this is that. I get her side. I do. I honestly do want the best for her son. I get that. I understand where she is coming from as a mom. I understand that. But, with the GiveSendGo or GoFundMe and everything, if she wants to clear her name, show an audit. This is what I pay for. The house I am living in. I'm renting it. It's underneath someone else's name. The car, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. You have to think outside. You have to think. If you want to be clear your name, show an audit. With me, I did not care. I would stay in a tent for my.
Mhm.
I mean, for it. You know, I didn't. I mean, we were in hiding. We were in hiding. We couldn't live a normal life. We couldn't work. We couldn't go here and there. We couldn't even go to like whatever thing. My mom died before the trial, and it was hard we did go, but we had to where we stayed at was like 2 hours away from where I grew up at, because small town, everybody knows who you are.
Oh, yeah.
We were 2 hours away from that, and you know, it's like, where's Wendy and the kids at? You know, it's like, hey, I'm 2 hours away. You know, we have to stay this far. But I understand her part of it. I get it. Okay.
Well, my issue is that, you know, their supporters donated money to them. It's none of my concern what they do with it. I mean, you know, like, and the main reason why is I just don't want to get into that, and I never did. If you go through I have 50 Karmelo videos, but none of them talk about things like, well, what's he doing with the money? Is he buying this, buying that? I'd stayed away from it because I just don't want to go there.
People donated it for them. They said it was for his legal defense. Lawyers cost a lot of money, and yeah, I had one lawyer. Was it $1,300 an hour?
How much do you ever tally up how much his legal defense cost for the entire shebang?
The first lawyer, $333,000.
Okay, that was for which lawyer? Wood?
John Pierce.
Oh, Pierce. But what about the trial?
Oh, that trial, man. Oh, shoot. We had to, oh my gosh, man. How much do you think we paid it? How much do you think that trial?
How much that trial was? That trial
probably was
like our trial. Like it was about like we probably spent $600,000 on it because we had to pay all those lawyers.
No, I mean,
Mark was expensive. Joe Ellen was expensive.
Yeah, Joe Ellen, the jury consultant, love her to death. She did OJ Kobe Bryant.
I'm back. I took a nap. I'm sorry. I had to.
That was a short nap.
Yeah. I want to say it cost almost about.
It was like 600,000 or 700,000. It was in that range.
It was a lot.
Because
it felt like $10 million if it did.
But I will say though, you could, at least with yours, you could tell where they spent the money. Because when you watch it, you think those trial, those experts and stuff. Yeah, I can see it. He definitely got good representation, no doubt about that.
I mean, they did. Was it mock trials? That cost $100,000 right there.
$100,000 for the mock trial. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Sheesh. Okay.
Yeah, I get it. Lawyers are a lot. I mean, when they say, because with the $2 million bond, okay, we had to fight for that. There's on YouTube or back in there because people are fighting over it. Fight back, and we had to go back. Okay, and we got whatever. We end up. Lawyers mostly gotten mostly all of it.
Oh, I see. I thought it was a 50-50 deal, but it wasn't.
No, okay. Fight back with Linwood. They took their portion because he wanted the whole $2 million, and like no, he stated to me, it's like no. When Kyle gets out and everything, that $2 million is for for Kyle and you to start your life back over. Then after I fired Lynn, he turned around. He's like trying to. It's like no, I want that $2 million. Blah blah blah, and we had to fight for it. And the $2 million, because it wasn't underneath Lynn's name, Linwood and Fight Back, it was underneath John's name, and he was holding it hostage, and he
Oh no!
yeah, and he wanted.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's there. There is I don't know where at a Mark Richards was they were going back and forth. John wasn't there. It was John's lawyer, and it's like because John wanted state for it, and it was just a big giant mess. And because
Well, let me ask you, of all that money that was raised that you won, how much did you get to keep when all the dust was cleared? How much was left over? Was there any?
you know what, it was probably 100 to 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, 100. Yeah, about that because the lawyers and stuff like that. People's like, "Oh, you're rich."
No.
Rich? No. I mean, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's money, but when you have to start your life over again, you know, it's not.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, let's continue on here with Dominique.
Okay.
The Karmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by GiveSendGo. Let's be clear. The family has
Okay, I'm going to skip through this.
Yeah, he's talking away.
One of the individuals that escorted Karmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network. So it's not sure that it wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That were all of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud. Okay.
Yeah, he's still talking about the funds.
Dare to stand and demand justice in return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent.
We will not be silent. Your kid just stabbed another kid to death. Now, maybe he did it in self-defense. Okay, we're going to have a trial for that.
Yep.
This is not the time to say, we will not be silenced. Maybe it's a good time to be silenced. Maybe it's a good time to not get too vocal, right? Now, you went and did some like interviews and stuff, but you're trying to raise money, right, for your son.
Yeah. Yeah, we had GiveSendGo and other, GiveSendGo up, and I was doing interviews with the local news people. I did not want to do any news sit down things for Wisconsin whatsoever. And I'm like, for Wisconsin, I did, let me see, Judge Jean, what was her name? Janine.
Janine Pirro.
Yeah, that was my first interview after the shooting. I was a total deer in the headlights. It was
I imagine you didn't have any experience in being in front of a.
Yeah, and I was like,
You're trained.
Yeah,
I
totally get. Oh, by the way, I should mention that you have a GiveSendGo going now because you run into some hard times. Yeah. And I'm here. Part of this reason why we're doing this tonight is to maybe publicize your GiveSendGo. I'm going to put it in the chat here. And you're trying to raise, how much are you trying to get?
$1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah.
So I put it in the chat and it's in the description. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, the month I was out of work, I used what I had, my little peanuts I had saved up because we were basically, Faith and I are homeless. We're living in a motel. You know. So if all you people out there, hey, if you can help them out, any little bit helps. Go ahead, give them, go to the site, pitch in a little if you can. If you can't, don't. I mean, I'm not trying to bend any arms here, but it always feels good to help somebody else who's in need. So I'd appreciate it if you can. I'd appreciate any amount that you can give them. Okay, let's continue on here. Yeah.
And by the way, the link to it is in the description. So if you don't see it in the chat, you can always go to the description and the link is there.
always said, as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served.
If I'm the parents back there, I'm thinking, wait, what's this about? I mean,
Yeah.
the oppressor? Well, you know who he's talking about, right? It's me. So what's he doing? I just don't get it. I mean,
Yeah.
now you've been through this yourself where you had spokespeople that were like getting a little out of hand. The Pudgies thing, where
Oh,
you had people showing up to meet with Kyle that you weren't expecting. Did you ever find out who invited those dudes?
You know what? Don't know. You know, John, you know, said like, oh, told Dave Hancock at the time, it's like, oh, because told him can't even talk. Told him, was like, oh, I have a couple buddies that called me, want to do security, blah blah blah, and like, okay, because local media was being crazy, and he had other media in front of Mark's door and stuff like that, the law office, because we were doing over Zoom and everything because of COVID, you know. But you know, it's just at that time it was a big giant mess.
So you think that Dave Hancock invited them because he was looking for security
No.
personnel? Oh, I'm
No.
sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, it was John with
John Pierce.
I mean, yeah, you know.
Okay, now that makes sense.
Mhm.
All right, and so these guys, those who are not familiar, you took Kyle to a bar
Which
for
was
his
illegal
18th
in the
birthday.
state of Wisconsin for him to
Yeah.
be in a bar with me, so he can. I mean, he can have a
Perfectly
drink
legal.
with his parent.
Yeah, and by the way, Andy, I totally understand. I mean, I get it. I know exactly what you're thinking. My son's had it rough. Let's brighten his day somehow, right? So a lot of people criticized you. I don't. I totally understand that. It's something I might have done. But Mark Richards was not pretty happy about that, was he?
No, he wasn't. You know, but you know, in Kyle's bail, I mean, his bond and everything, bail, what its stipulation was, Kyle looked through it and everything like that. It did not say do not consume alcohol, no drugs or anything. It's just stated don't be around XYZ people and everything. We looked at and we're like, this okay, you know. It's like, yeah, I took my son out for a beer when he was 18. Okay, big damn deal. At least he's not doing it behind my back, you know, like some 18-year-olds.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, believe me, I come from a heritage where that's nothing. I mean, it's so what? It's a beer, you know.
Yeah, it's a beer, and everybody made a big deal about it. And he had a shirt that says "free as fuck" on it.
Yeah.
TMZ made a big whoopa doop about it, and I'm like, looking, I'm like, oh, I'm on TMZ. Oh my God.
Oh.
Now getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right.
Okay, I'm going to skip this because, well, wait, he's still talking here.
Man.
There's two more finally. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Karmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary, things and decisions by the leadership.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah. Well, with Kyle's due process, people already found, oh, he's guilty. They didn't want Kyle to go through due process whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, the whole idea of shutting down his fundraising was to deny him
Yes.
counsels so that they can be easier to convict. And I said this at the time. I thought that Carmelo Anthony was guilty. I mean, looking at the facts, I will say this, everybody, okay?
Mhm.
I do not think that Carmelo Anthony is a bad kid. And I know a lot of people are going to be really upset at me, but I really do think that he just simply lost the handle and he did something really stupid and cruel, but he wasn't planning it. It just happened. I think that as soon as he did it, he regretted it, and I think he regrets it to this day. So the idea somehow that he parked on there because he was looking to kill somebody, I don't buy it. The 35-year sentence to me was about right, maybe a little harsh, but
Well,
no,
for
I'm
good
not doing
behavior, he'd be out
99 years. I
17.
mean, come on.
Good behavior to be out 17, or he has the right to appeal his eviction thing. He has the right for it, like everybody else does.
Okay. By the way, somebody disagrees. I think he's scum. He's been getting in lots of trouble for the past 3 to 4 years. Well, I don't know about lots of trouble, but he has been in trouble with the school. I don't think he has a criminal record. And of course, we would not know because he's a juvenile.
Yeah.
Or if he did commit. Now, keep in mind, in Texas, a juvenile is 16 and under, right? But here's but the thing about it is that he does not come across to me as a kid who was just out looking to kill some people. You know what? You get in trouble, but murder is another deal. That's a different level. I just don't see it. So I don't know what your first name is, but I think we're just going to disagree on that. And the point I was going to make though is that even though I thought he was guilty, I had no trouble with people donating to his legal defense because if he's guilty, we'll convict him. And I want him to have at least a fair trial. And the only way to get that is if you have adequate counsel. And the other one is I want to let everybody know, unlike what a lot of people think, I think his counsel acted very well. I thought that the attorney, Mike Howard, did a fairly decent job. But his client is guilty. Unlike Kyle, who was innocent, his client was guilty, and there's nothing that Mike Howard could do. I mean, and so my next video is talking about Mike Howard's decision as to why he didn't put Karmelo on the stand. Kyle took the stand.
Yes, he did.
Another thing that people confuse, like, well, Kyle, he was guilty. Well, Kyle took the stand. He showed more courage than Karmelo did. However, after reading the motion for a retrial from the new legal defense, I now know why Karmelo was not put on the stand, and it makes total sense. So that's going to be probably my next video in the series on Karmelo Anthony. There's a lot in that motion that people should read. I'm going to be reading that over the next few weeks, portions of that. It was just like, remember when I did a lot of videos for your son where I read through all the motions and interpreted it because a lot of people have a hard time understanding what's being said. And even though I'm not a lawyer, I can figure it out. Let's see here. Okay, KA's attorneys were fine. They had no case. I tend to agree with you. Well, okay. I've heard that, but I can't confirm that, so I can't comment. I think he's a regular kid who made a really bad mistake. Well, I regular kid. I think that he did have a burr under his saddle. I think that he was kind of in a bad sorts, and he was kind of mad at the world a little. So
tell me how many 17-year-old boys are mad at the world? Yeah,
a lot of them are, especially when you have people like Dominic Alexander running around telling them that they have no hope, that the white man has got them all under their thumb. There's no point in even trying. You're never going to get to college because it's all rigged. And when you listen to that over and over again, I can understand why a kid might end up kind of being bitter and hopeless. And I think that maybe Karmelo was that way.
Yeah.
Let's see here. K's priors and if he took the stand. Okay, so here's the dealio. Okay, I'll just give you a hint on this. There was a gentleman's agreement by both attorneys that they would not bring in what they would call propensity evidence or character evidence, as you will. And you know, Wendy, Kyle went through this too, right? The CVS video and the Pudgies thing.
Yeah.
Right? Now, in Wisconsin, the rules are tighter with that, about that. In Texas, you can bring that in a little bit more than in Wisconsin. But both attorneys decided that we're not going to do it because Austin evidently had some dirt under the carpet, and so did Karmelo. And so both of them said, look, let's just try these kids for what actually happened. But evidently that agreement broke down before Karmelo took the stand, and Karmelo was facing the hostility of his background getting exposed, and Karmelo decided, I'm not going to take the stand. It's not clear whether the attorney advised him to do that or Karmelo simply didn't want to. I don't know. The motion for retrial doesn't mention it. By the way, Wendy, when Kyle was thinking of taking the stand, did you have anything to say about that? I mean, that's pretty risky. I mean, did you talk to Kyle about?
There was at one point me and Kyle did talk about it, and I was like, I don't want you to take a stand and everything like that. And he goes, I didn't do nothing wrong, Mom. He goes, I want to take the stand and tell my story, And I'm like, he goes, I'm taking a stand. And I'm like, I said, if you want to take the stand, buddy. But I'm like, the guy, my security and stuff like that, because Kyle had to go to Mark's like every day or every other day or once a week. I went there like maybe a couple times, and Kyle would talk about that night. And I would just start crying, I would start crying when he was talking, because when he got out of jail, he never talked to me about it. He never did. He talked to his sisters, but not me, because I would have broke down and started bawling, and Kyle doesn't like us to cry. He's like, stop crying. Why are you crying? But he never did. He did with his sisters, but it was his decision, and that's what he wanted. That's what he did. And Mark and Corey and Natalie, helped him. He goes with Corey. Corey was a prosecuted attorney, and he's like, I can't talk. He goes, because when I was watching it that one day, the last time there, Corey is just like boom, boom, boom. I was like, he was better than Binger. Binger's like, why are you going to the Daredevil Max, Kyle? Because it was on fire, But
I will say this, okay? Well, first of all, I totally believe you that Corey did a better job than Binger did, but your son's performance was one for the ages, and one that they should probably play in law classes all the time.
Yeah.
This is how you prepare a witness, because Binger tried everything. And
I know. I was watching back videos and stuff like that, and there's one with me trying not to laugh when he goes, ask Kyle, what is your username off of TikTok? 4 Doors More Horror. And you see me going like this, and they're like, I was like, oh hell no. Binger tried so hard, but he was there's a saying, he was too ballpark.
You almost started to feel sorry for the guy,
No,
almost.
I didn't.
Almost.
I did
because,
not.
Because I tell you what, like for example, he said, so did you lied about being an EMT? And McCall said, yeah. And you can see the air deflate.
It's like, oh yeah,
because he was really hoping that Kyle would come in with, well, not really. I mean, I know, like, just start to him and haw. But Kyle said, yeah. Like, what are you going to make of it? So what? So yeah, that was a great performance. And I've been critical of Kyle on a lot of things. Yeah.
Like the video games, and Kyle's looking at him. It's like they're video games. It's not real life, And he's like a chicken with the head cut off. Going, duh, duh. I'm like, it's God. And you got Lunchbox there looking like he's ready for a lunch break.
Oh man, that was pretty funny. And yeah, and then Dominic really gutted Binger and I don't know if you watched the video I had where I was the first one, and I think the only one that made note that Dominic totally gutted him when he took the stand, because Binger wanted him to say that Kyle pointed his gun at people. Yeah. And when he asked Dominic said, I don't know, I wasn't looking. And you could look at the expression on Binger's face. He's like,
yeah, he was what? So pissed off and everything because he wanted Dominic to say, yeah, Kyle pointing his gun at everybody. Kyle's playing laser tag. It's like, oh, I got a gun. It's like Dominic's like, okay, he wanted him to say, yeah, he was pointing a gun at people.
Okay, so we have a comment. K.A.'s mom has been an activist, so I think you're right about negative influences. I actually haven't heard much about her, but Karmelo's dad has been in lots and lots of things. Karmelo's dad was on TikTok and everything, engaging with influencers like Charleston White and this dude, Dominic Alexander. And it got crazy. And I'm thinking, what are you doing on social media? This is insane. So Karmelo's parents, I will say this, I don't know if they're bad people, but I certainly don't think that they acted the way I would have wanted them to act if I was their attorney. Mark Richards got all over you and Kyle for that Pudgy's thing. And that was just you guys showing up at a bar, having some guys showing up, shaking hands.
Mark was so pissed, man. He Kyle didn't have a phone at the time. He was using my phone. Mark called. He's like, Wendy, I'm like, and he just laid into me. I was like, I wanted to cry. I honestly, Mark almost made me cry. I don't know how many times. And I was like, okay, here's Kyle. And he's like this. And he just ripped right through Kyle, and the Miami shit, it's just like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I was actually upset at him too, because I just heard it on the radio. That was good about Grosskreutz. I heard it on the radio that Kyle was found hanging out with white supremacists in a bar, and I'm drinking. Kyle, I have stuck up for you for months now, and you did this. I can't believe this. But then I started slowly getting the full picture of it. I thought, okay, yeah, there was nothing here. And I got to learn also myself that you can't jump to conclusions.
Exactly.
This is a question here, and Wendy, I may be kind of curious, but Karmelo Anthony's parents evidently didn't hang around for his sentencing. They weren't there. Can you put anything? Can you tell us what would happen there that would cause parents not to show up for this? I'm assuming this is true.
Okay, if Kyle would have been found guilty, I probably would be screaming and crying in the courtroom, and I'd probably be rushed out because I probably would fall on the ground, cry and be hysterical and stuff like that. And when he was found innocent, you could see the big relief come off my shoulders, like the weight of the world was off.
Oh my God, that must have been.
Okay, I
can't imagine the feeling that you must have had.
Oh, the nights and days of coming up to the trial. my anxiety, the going in my head, thinking, what if Kyle is found guilty? You know, what if Kyle's going to find guilty?
Yeah.
He's going to be sent, because I was worried about wrong people getting on the wrong people getting on the jury. That's what was my biggest fear. The wrong, and social media and the news. Every time you walk out the door, me and the girls had a microphone in our face, like, here, and Mark was, it's like how you feel about how Kyle took the stand and everything. I had my scary people, like my scary TC. I miss him. I miss TC. He's like, come on. He's like, he just took me to the car and everything, because the girls didn't come that day. It was me, just me and everything. And I understand where she's coming from, because she's not. I understand where she's coming from. Okay, of them saying, "Oh, he's going to be found guilty, found innocent." You know, I understand as a mother point of view how she feels seeing your child in that predicament. I understand that.
Oh, just as a note, he had already been convicted. This was the sentencing.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're clear. Okay.
Yeah, the sentencing. It was probably it was probably for her. It was for his mom. It was probably hard for her to watch her son be sentenced to 35 years or life.
So you're very sympathetic to her on this regard.
It'll be hard for her. I get that. If that did happen to Kyle, I would be staying there watching my boy, because you don't know. You would not know, is this going to be the last time you're going to see your kid if he gets murdered in prison? You know, you don't know. Those things go in your mind. But if it did happen to Kyle, if he was found guilty, I probably would have stayed there and watched him, you know. But different states, different rules, because I thought, okay, he's going to do the sentencing maybe another month or something. No, they did that sentencing quick. I was like, really? They didn't wait around for that? I always, you know, I understand, like I just said, I get where she's coming from. The emotional strain of her son, I get that. You know, I understand that, where she's coming from. And being there for your son, I understand. I would have stayed there, show how strong you are, so the media would not say, oh, you weren't there or anything. I would have stuck there no matter what. Doesn't matter what the media said, you have to stay by your son.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you would not have done what she did, but you understand why she did it.
Yeah, okay. I understand why she did it, but as me, I would have stayed right there. Doesn't matter if I was crying hysterical or anything like that, but you know what? I would stay there by my son.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. Let us now, from this point on, no longer criticize the mother for not being there, because Wendy Rittenhouse, and I mean this seriously, Wendy Rittenhouse has said she understands, sympathizes, and she went through this. We haven't. So she's an expert. So I'm going to go ahead and give it up to you on this, Wendy. If you really don't think that she did anything wrong, then as far as I'm concerned, she didn't.
No, she didn't. You know, I get that. I honestly get that, because she was probably so emotionally drained, and she probably could not take it. You know?
Yeah, I get it. Okay, so we have a comment here. I like how there was Grosskowitz got hit by a car after changing his name. I wasn't. I was talking to Gage during that time. He was going to be on my show. But he got busted up really bad. I mean, this wasn't just having a broken leg. The car dragged him. He almost killed him.
I saw.
Say what you want about Gage. And by the way, I'm going to clear it up. Gage was not a convicted felon. Has never been a convicted felon. And he did have a valid CCW that night. Those I can confirm. When I tell you that I know, I know. Okay. I don't like Gage's politics. We disagree, but I never thought that Gage was a bad guy. I totally understand why he did what he did that night. He thought he was doing the right thing. Whether he was doing the right thing or not is not what relevant is. He thought he was doing the right thing there, but he did point a gun at Kyle, and Kyle took his arm off for his efforts. It happened. That's what happened. There doesn't have to be an evil person in between those two. It's just one of those things that happens. And you may disagree with me a lot on this one, Wendy. But then again, you have a different perspective on this than I do because your son was directly involved in this. But you don't have to comment on Gage if you don't want to. I mean, I'm just giving my impression.
You know how I feel about Gage or whatever his name is now.
That's what I'm saying. You probably disagree with me vehemently on it, but then again, you know him in a different way than I do.
But when he had his phone when Kyle was going to the police, it's like, you shot someone, and Kyle said, I'm going to the police. Okay, he could have stayed. Okay, I got you. Let's go to the police. But no, he pulled it when Kyle got hit, kicked, whatever, stomped on, and him pointing at Kyle's face. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, but keep in mind, he's your son, and this guy is pointing a gun at him. Yeah, that would change my perspective, but Kyle's not my son. And so I'm not looking at it from your perspective at all. I think I'm backtracking out of this, but no, I have talked to Gage. I've been wanting to get him on my show, but we were going to do it, but it fizzled out, and that was the end of that. Should start a YouTube channel. People would watch Donate Could Be reviews on anything or just talk about daily life. If you ever want to make this a weekly or even monthly thing, Wendy, let me know. I'm all for it. I mean, I like having you and the girls on. It's a lot of fun.
You got my sense of humor and everything. I can make a joke out of anything. But
you definitely don't want to get any marketing advice from me because I've been at it for 6 years and I have 5,000 subscribers. It's like, I'm not the person to grow a channel, that's for sure.
No, I have a TikTok. I don't even know how to use it. I have an Instagram. I do the Instagram here and there. I mostly have my cats or my dog on there. It's like, it's like, oh, look at what my dog can do. She's like, and oh, Maggie's like doing this or doing that. It's like, I'm kind of boring.
Well, you've been talking. You've been very interesting tonight. We're catching a lot of perspective about a lot of things from it. May not be in Gage's best interest. He was going to come on my show, and I asked him, "Why do you want to come on my show?" Because I was not exactly a fan. And he said, "Yeah, I know. I think that you're a real jerk or whatever, but at least you'll be fair to me." And I said, "Well, you're right." So that was the whole deal about that. Oh boy. And okay, so I'm actually getting wore out here. I want to put in another plug in for your GiveSendGo. I'm going to put another link to it in here. But if you can get on and maybe help them out, and keep in mind, Wendy, most of the people watch this show after the live. I mean, they watch the recorded.
Yeah.
So you probably won't get a lot of action for a while, but hopefully you're going to get some help coming your way. And I actually have to use PayPal, so I can't do the GiveSendGo. That's why we use the PayPal for them. So so if we haven't heard from Faith, is she still around?
Yeah, she's around. I don't know what she's doing. She put her makeup on. I don't know. She's probably.
We definitely want to put her on right now. That's when. Well, I don't know though.
Yeah, she has like her little thing on her head, half her thing. It's like one of those things like you wake up and they have the mask. You're like, ah!
But it's a thing now where they have videos of women who put their makeup on. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. No, it's like being down in Florida because Florida in July is super, super hot. No, it's super humid. It's like, when you get on, when you walk out, you can just hear your hair go. poof. It's like my hair is always like in a bun or a ponytail. It's like poof, and it's like I don't fit in Florida because I'm so white and pasty. It's like,
Yeah,
like I get like the
that's what
redneck.
happens when you live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, I'm a Midwest girl. When people ask me where I'm from, they're like, "You got an accent." I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Are you from Canada?" I'm like, "No, I'm from the Midwest." I tell people, I'm from Michigan. I won't say I'm from Chicago, but Illinois is is my home. Illinois is my home.
Mhm.
Michigan is my birthplace, and I'm a Midwest girl all the way through. I miss the Midwest, but not the winters because winter's harsh. Because if I go back up there, I probably freeze to death. Because being down here and being in this humidity, this hot weather, my blood thinned out.
No, man, me, I love Oklahoma. I just love it here. Our weather, it gets interesting, but yeah, I
Yeah.
really do enjoy it.
No, because what was it? Katrina was telling me, it's like, yeah, we had tornadoes and everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, you didn't watch the news. I'm like, no, I don't watch the news. I'm like, when it comes to news, it's like, it's like a hit and miss and everything like that. But I do try to catch the weather, but I have that weather app on my phone. I'm like, okay, it's going to rain for 30 minutes and then it comes humid here. And she's like, no, we had to go in the basement because we had the sirens going on. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I didn't know that. And she's like, no, we're all fine.
It's common here. It's common here. You end up with in this maybe once a year. By the way, you recognize the cap?
No, I'm blind. It's like blurry. And wait, go over just a little bit.
It's one of your free Kyle caps.
I never got none of the merch. I never got none of the merch.
And I did not wear it for the show. I put it on, and I realized, well, I'm wearing the free Kyle cap here.
Yeah. I had a person that did the hats and the shirts and stuff like that. I never got any of the merch.
Never did.
Nope, not even a t-shirt or anything. Never. It's like, here's a shirt or anything like that. Nothing.
Yeah, because my red one is in bad shape, and I'm embarrassed to wear it now, and because it's really nasty looking. And I was hoping to get another one, but I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, no, because there's a long story behind that with the merch and everything, and it's too much. I'm not going to get into that.
Just finished watching England versus Norway sweat them off playing in Miami. Oh, that must really be rough.
Oh boy, especially down in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I worked in a gas station once in Bakersfield, California, and it was like July, and it was about 115 degrees or whatever. And this little MG pulls up, and an Englishman's in there, and we thought he was in really bad shape. We thought we had to have to call the paramedics because that heat was something he was not ready for.
Yeah, especially
I'm used to it, but
yeah, like in Florida, okay, like December, January, February, part of March a little bit. It's nice. It's like 70 degrees. Okay,
well, that's why everybody retires there.
Yeah, it's perfect. Very perfect. Foreign people are having the hoodies on, sweatpants and everything because it's cold. Yeah, because we're into like 110 index of heat during like May to November. We're in the heat. Yeah, our body's used to the heat. When it gets cold, like 7 degrees out, people are putting their jackets on. I remember one time it was 35 degrees one day, a couple months ago. I was like, I'm cold. It reminds me of the Midwest without snow. Florida did get snow this year, but it was in the panhandle. I wish I was there to watch people to drive because snow here is like, oh my God.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Does Faith have anything she want to say to the crowd before we take off? Because it's getting around the top of the hour, and I think it's about time for us to depart. Faith, do you have anything you'd like to say?
She said, I'm okay in her little voice.
Okay, so she's good.
She said
Okay.
I felt brain dead
And
too.
okay, why don't you put out a final plea to ask people to help you out a little bit there financially?
Okay. I have a GiveSendGo. It's GiveSendGo.com. Help Wendy to keep a roof over her head. You can find it on
Yeah,
Johnny's
I have a link
channel.
in the I have a link in the chat, so they could go
Yeah,
to
he has a
directly.
link in the chat. You can always go on my Twitter or X under my name, Wendy Rittenhouse. I'm not verified, but I'm there. Barely go on there, and you can hit the link on there.
All right. And I appreciate any help that anybody out there can provide. And I thank both you ladies for showing up and entertaining us. It's been really interesting. I mean, you provided some perspectives here that I think that are badly needed. I mean, they
Yeah.
really are. So I appreciate that. And good luck to both of you. And let's do this again.
Okay, it sounds good. Yeah.
All right. All right. Take care and see you later, Faith. Bye. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yep. She says, see you later.
Okay.
All right, Johnny. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
everybody.
Take care now.
Bye.
All right. I want to thank everybody for joining. And yeah, go in there and subscribe to my channel, by the way. I could really use a few more. I've only been at it for 6 years. I have about 5,300 subscribers. And it's pathetic because if I get a subscriber, I go, yeah, all right, somebody subscribed. That's pretty bad. So I would appreciate, go subscribe to my channel. And especially if you're interested in the Karmelo Anthony and the Nolan Wells deal, you're going to get a lot of perspectives you're not going to catch anywhere else. I'm going to be reading legal documents, giving my takes, and you know, and I typically don't go hog wild over wild conspiracy theories. So yeah, go subscribe to my channel. Oh, and like this particular video. Go down there, hit the like button. I appreciate it. Take care.